and gentlemen, and welcome to round 11 of ORL season 11 here at a very wet and rightly so Silverstone circuit. Triton Lehman takes pole ahead of Mark, who returns after a bit of an absence from ORL. Etnik takes third ahead of Hadler, and the second Williams of Matthias. Kopi is in sixth in the McLaren ahead of Anka, and the two Toro Rossos of Photon and Calcifer once again very closely matched. Bolkson takes 10th ahead of Ballast Kevin, Krusix in 12th and Andinator in 13th. Kaboom takes 14th, with Soren in the 15th as Rupert is the second Red Bull in 16th. Flexis Marcy takes 17th ahead of WoW in 18th. And for unknown reasons, Velocity Hyper starting at the back of the grid. When we are not quite sure why he was unable to complete a qualifying lap. In the driver standings, Velocity Hyper sits on top with 106 points ahead of Photon, who's closing things down, currently sitting 9 points behind. Napadovsky is in third on 76, with Lehman in that Williams climbing up fast on 51 points. Mark in fifth with 47, just 1 point ahead of the pair of Formula Danny and Hayes. Nameless is next in 37th, with Fabrizio Donoso in 9th on 33 points, tied with Stiv and Etnik RN.
And in the Constructors' Championship, we have Mercedes in first place with 131 points, the real-life championship winners.
Yep.
And in second place is the Red Bull Racing with 121 points. After them, there's Toro Rosso with 116 points. Then we have Ferrari with 84 points. We have Williams now up into 5th from 10th, like 2 races ago. And after that comes Alfa Romeo. Then we have Racing Point, followed by Renault, Haas, and McLaren.
It looks like we are ready to go then, as all the drivers lining up. The big changes heading into this race is that Kopi and Etnik are now main drivers for McLaren. Let's see what they can do for their teams. For their team, I should say, as all the drivers are lined up on the grid. Lehman takes pole for the first time in the year. Mark lines up alongside both these drivers high up in the championship. What can we expect to see as it's lights out and away we go? It looks like it's a good start from Etnik, or more specifically a bad start from Mark. Hadler might have to look for the inside, but it's all good for Lehman, who comes out ahead. But that's a Red Bull who has gone way wide. Actually, pardon me, that's Calcifer, who's all the way at the back of the grid now. I think that's a Haas who's looking down the inside into turn 4. Might be able to make it work. Triton Lehman takes the lead comfortably. Mark dropping down to 3rd. Full wet conditions. Hadler in 4th place. But look at this. Mark might be looking for a way through on Etnik, but he's a little bit too far back. However, everything's happening down the order as Photon looking round the outside of Matthias, as Mr. Anker has dropped down a place. Photon having gained 3 places off the start, and it is a fantastic start for the leading Toro Rosso driver.
Wow, and Hypers already gained 4 places, so Hypers is starting his chase up the grid.
As FX Rupert leaves the session as well. But a fairly clean start, I do believe. I think Calcifer, he ran wide, but I don't know if there was any contact, as there is a virtual safety car already on the lap of the race. And just look at the visibility and the track conditions. It's absolutely horrendous, Maku. Here we go. Hypers, he's going to get a good run coming out of Church down the hanger straight on the inside as well. Can he make it work? Because you can carry a lot of speed into Stowe. A couple of places he's side by side with Matthias at the minute. Around the outside of a turn 2. Oh, Hypers down the inside into turn 4. Can he make it work? As Ballast Kevin will try to hold it around the outside, side by side, and Hypers will squeeze through up into 11th place. And there's stills. Oh, it's 3 abreast coming into Brooklands. There's contact between the Mercedes and the Sauber, and Flex's Marcy is going to be the one coming off worse. And now he's side by side with Calcifer, who after a rather disastrous start is looking to make some inroads to get towards the points. Still side by side, Calcifer on the outside heading into Cops. Is he brave enough? He's going to try to hold it. Almost contact, but great respect from the two drivers as Calcifer will move up into 16th. Sets a fast lap, but look at Hypers with the cutback. Does he have enough drive though? Just trying to feed that power in a little bit of a moment. Down the inside into Woodcut, and the Crucix will not be able to shut the door. Hypers is well and truly alongside into Cops. Who is the bravest of the two? It's going to be Hypers as Mark runs a little bit wide. Photon might just be smelling a way through. Mark will go to the outside. Photon dives down the inside. Mark turns a bit early, makes a bit of contact, but Photon is up into the podium spot now.
You have to make a bit.
Hyper's going for a move on Kopi. Just going to let the car drift wide through turn 2 and down the inside into 3. Oh, as up ahead, Mark's running wide. Hadler down the inside into Brooklands, but on the outside for Luffield. That's Mark having a bit of a moment. Let's just look at all of this unfold from behind as Mark squeezing Hadler out wide, and that's going to allow Anchor to find his way through Woodcourt corner up into 5th place. He could potentially look for a way through on Mark as well. He's just a bit too far back as Mark running wide through Cops, and now Hadler, he gets a great run, is right on the tail of Anchor as his Ferrari's lined astern in 4th and 5th place. And Photon has been catching up to Etnik fairly quickly as Hypers has a massive moment with the back end coming through Church. Photon down the inside into Brooklands on Etnik. Etnik going to hold it around the outside. Has the inside now for Luffield. Photon trying to hold it around the outside. Should technically be grippier there. And he will get the traction around the outside of Luffield through Woodcourt. They're still side by side as they now head into Cops. The old turn 1. Photon, can he make it stick? I think he might about have done it, and he will sweep past Etnik and take 2nd place. I thought because Mark runs a bit wide through Stowe. Anchor now looks for the inside. And actually, wait, what's happened to Mark? Oh, Mark's into the pits.
Out on intermediates.
Oh, yes. So it appears, Maku, that the track is drying.
Yeah, that's what I thought before, because I think it's raining less than at the beginning of the race.
Let's take a look. Hypers into the pits. He'll be too far behind to jump ahead of Anchor. Intermediate tires for both drivers. Front wing change from Anchor will mean that he drops behind Hypers and will mean Mark will stay in what is effectively a 4th place. One of them needs to pull the pin and make a pit stop, or are they going to risk it and go all the way to the end of the race? Lehman will not. He's going to come into the pit. It's been a fantastic race from him. Didn't get the best of qualifyings, but after qualifying, it has been an impeccable race from Photon, who will pick up his 2nd race win on the trot just as a final corner to go, and Photon will take the British Grand Prix. Etnik will come round behind to take 2nd place. Hadler picks up 3rd. Kopi will take 4th. And Bullockson right behind to pick up 5th, with Tritton Lehman right behind him. Hypers jumps up ahead of Mark, as will Matthias. Mark dropping down to 9th place as Anchor might take 10th, but Crucix losing the back end across the line won't jump ahead of Anchor, as they both had 2 time penalties. However, with all that said and done, thank you everyone for joining us. Stay fast. We'll see you next week for round 12 at the next ORL race in Germany. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.